Fox News. Speaking of the orange Dorito taco shells, following in the footsteps of Panera and Chipotle, Taco Bell and fellow Yum brand Pizza Hut have announced they will be ditching artificial colors and flavors from their foods, nixing the neon colors, replacing the black pepper flavoring with, get this, real black pepper. I guess they weren't using real black pepper, but they woke up and said this will be better business. My next guest says, though, don't be fooled by today's announcement. So-called natural ingredients can be just as unhealthy as artificial ones. Mark Schatzker, author of The Dorito Effect, The Surprising New Truth About Food and Flavor, joins us now. Mark, before we even get into the health aspects, can we agree that these moves toward more natural ingredients in fast food is really quite brilliant when you see how it's working for a Chipotle out there, which has been very successful?
Yeah, it's upending what people think of fast food. It's telling people our food isn't what you thought it was. So in that respect, as a marketing move, it's getting lots of attention, absolutely.
Okay, lots of attention, and I can see why. When they announced that they were going to do that Dorito shell taco, you know what, we sent out and we got a couple of those tacos, and I looked around my office to find out what matched that orange in that guy's hand. And the one thing I found, and it was a pretty close match, was my sneaker. I mean, that's
right.
Not found in the natural world, Mark. So, look, I give them props,
Yes.
but why are you saying that this is skeptical, that you're skeptical of this move?
Well, I think some of the moves are good. They're getting rid of trans fats. They're getting rid of unsustainable palm oil. I think those are good moves. And I think this reminds us that the consumer is still king and that the consumer can flex a muscle and get companies to change. The question is, how real is that change? And one of the things I'm interested in is flavoring. Artificial flavors frightens everybody. The word artificial makes them think it's going to give me cancer. They also use natural flavors. In fact, if you look up their ingredient list, there's about 29 natural flavors as opposed to something like 12 artificial. Chemically speaking, there's no difference between a natural flavor and an artificial flavor. It's just the word artificial sounds scary. But natural flavors are every bit as synthetic, every bit as contrived, every bit a pure chemical sitting in a glass jar.
Why is a natural... Look, what if you're squeezing a lemon and you're getting lemon flavor from a real lemon versus concocting it in a test tube? How is that the same? But that's not what they wouldn't call it. They would call it lemon juice. If they use that, they would call it lemon or lemon juice. What they do is they find natural things like leaves or yeast that produce the chemicals they want. They extract these in a natural way using heat or distillation, and then they call that a natural flavor. But chemically speaking, it's the same. If you look in a flavor catalog, you can order these flavors, and it's one price for artificial, one price for natural, but they're the same thing. Well, I would argue our viewing audience cares about the investment too, and guess what? On a horrible day, Yum Brands just turned positive by a couple of pennies. I would argue that this news would send it much higher if we didn't have a drop of 20 points on the S&P 500. And I know this won't surprise you, but over the past 5 years, Yum has done very well, up 127%. Great to have you, Mark. Come back again. I like your energy.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, go have an orange. I guess in a way, we should mention, too, that Doritos is owned by Frito-Lay, which is owned by Pepsi. So will they stop sourcing their taco shells? We'll find out. We'll ask.